everybody? Welcome back. Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show off by being transparent, and we didn't do any shows after Thursday, so it's been a little while. But I did go to Breeders' Cup. I had a good time. I made probably two wagers in between Friday and today, and they did not go well in the NBA. But overall in the NBA, the record is 25-12. We're up, I think, close to 13 or 12 units, something like that. So we try to get back on track here to start this week, and a lot of games to choose from. And it's a lot to like on the board. I've been going over these games all morning. Um, Locked in some I still want to talk out. I still like them. And, just wanted to kind of, I was debating whether even to do a show today, but I like talking it out with you guys, and let's see if we can find some money. So take a look at the comment section. They're asking if we have an over under on mutes today. Andre says the over under muted bumped to 3.5. It's no spaces today. It's just YouTube. So hey, be careful. Be careful with your wagers on that one. Think you might be a little bit too high. What's going on? Andy says, let's get this money. Deep fried Thai with the Skee. What's going on? JT, what's good, my boy? Good hanging with you for the Breeders' Cup. Let's get back to making some more money on these sports. And everybody else in the chat, I appreciate you guys as well. Gavin asking what's the juice on that over under on the mutes, but I don't think we'll get there. Let's get started. Today will be a very short show. I'm gonna rapid fire through all these games as best as I can, and let's get to it. So first game up, we'll go in rotation order as always. And today I want to talk about basketball more than football, or NBA more than anything else. So I'll start there. If I have more time, I want to talk about a little bit more after at the end, then we'll go there. So first game up, we'll go 527, 528. San Antonio Spurs heading into Indiana to take on the Pacers. This game open, Pacers minus 4.5. We see them 5.5 point. Oh, I'm sorry. This is first half lines. Let's get it correct here. So 527, 528. Open Pacers minus 6.5. We now see them as a 9 point favorite. Total open 237.5. And looking like 238 pretty much everywhere. Injury report, and let's refresh this because we got a lot of stuff going on this morning. So for the Spurs, it looks like Devin Vassell is out. Keldon Johnson is going to be game time decision there. For the Pacers, I don't see anybody on that injury report at all. This one, I mean, if I want to do a player prop, I obviously would look towards Hallie. We know it's our go-to guy, but I would have to look towards. I mean, I'm not backing. I don't think the Pacers are the kind of team you lay this kind of margin with. I get it, and I understand the situation. So for that reason, I won't take the Spurs. On a back-to-back off of an overtime game. But the Pacers are not a team that's going to get any stops. They're the worst defensive rated team in the league so far, and you want to be expecting a team that can't get stops to win by double digits. I don't really care who's on the floor. I would be leaning towards the Spurs, and only way I could play it from a side perspective from the total, I would look towards the over. Only thing that would worry me here is if the Spurs players kind of run out of gas at the end. You got two teams who are top 10 in pace so far, both bottom five defensive rated teams. Only way I could look is, points, points, points in this game. So either the over, either the Spurs, or Hallie props would be ways I would go here. Didn't quite pull the trigger on that game yet. Next game up. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at the comment section. And Justin, he said he finally caught a live show. Appreciate you tapping in. JB, yeah, we back. We back. Back home, back settled, ready to get back to business. Saturated. He likes Wimby points, Vassell points. Vassell is out. He's looking at Hallie points plus assists, and he says if Vassell's out, just give him Wimby points. What's going on, Carson? JB Brown likes leaning the Pacers a little bit. Put him in a money line parlay with the Warriors. Kaysen says total is going to be 250 plus. Alejandro liking Hallie over 11.5 assists minus 135. So they bumped it up a little bit, and it's juice He still likes it. Um, Kind of feeling the same way as you guys, I guess, about this game. So let's keep it going down the slate. Appreciate you, Chris Clark and Ray, tuning in. Next game up, we have 5:29, 5:30. Dallas Mavericks heading into Orlando to take on the Magic. Opened up Magic -1.5. We're looking at 4.5 pretty much right now. Total open 224.5, down as low as 222 at DraftKings. Injury report for this game. We did see Luca and Kyrie pop up on the injury report, both questionable for tonight's game, along with Maxi Kleba. For the Magic, it looks like Jonathan Isaac is game time decision. They'll be without Wendell Carter Jr., without Markel Fultz, and without Gary Harris. Um, so I feel like it's a big potential to miss a whole lot of points for both of these teams. I really want to lean towards the under, especially if I think that the Magic are going to win. Magic playing at bottom 10 pace so far through what 6 games for them. They're the second best defensive rated team, and you're going to be missing potentially either Luca or Kyrie, maybe even both. So that kind of thinking makes me, want to lean towards the under here. I can see why it's gone down. But I did get in on the Magic. I took a -125. Um, just Mavs on a back to back, and I was a little expecting this, and as I was capping, I started to see the injuries go in. So I kind of just, jumped in immediately. As of right now, where the lines are, I'd probably wait just because if Luca and Kyrie are ruled out, um, I absolutely would just be done with the line. I wouldn't want it anymore. But if one of them gets ruled in and it comes back down, I would still take the Magic. I think, having the rest advantage being at home, having the better defense, I think that they can compete. And they've been the better rebounding team. So only look towards the Magic. I told you how I play. And if you have to play the total right now, I would only look towards the under. Looking at a couple comments here. What's going on, Dexter? Appreciate you tapping in live. The real DJ. He likes Magic, Thunder, and the over in Boston full game. Appreciate you sharing. Tyree, I think that is how we say this. RT Savage, I'll call him that. I know that's how you say that. Bankero, 6 assists. That's what he's liking tonight. Let's see. Okay, Deep Fried Tie is going to check out the Wager Talk College show. We will have the replay right here. So I appreciate you still watching. And Maine said he missed me over the weekend. I'm going to be doing weekend shows. I was just out of town for the Breeders' Cup, but we'll be getting back to those weekend shows. What up, Chris? Appreciate you tapping in. And S. Warrior reminding everybody in the chat, hit the like button for me, and that does help me out quite a bit if you guys are enjoying the show. JB Brown also with the reminder, so appreciate you guys and RC tapping in. So got the guys in the building. A lot of great heads in the chat. Let's keep capping and see if we can make some money. Next game up, we will go Wizards at Sixers. And I'm not going to have too much to say about this game. I'll tell you right now. But it opened -11 for the Sixers. Hasn't moved. Total open 227.5. Moved a point, 228.5. Injury report here. Let's just take a glance. For the Sixers, I don't see anybody on there. For the Wizards, I see Denny, game time decision. Gafford, game time decision. And Kispert, game time decision. I mean, this Wizards team has just looked pretty poor to me. They're not really doing anything well. Poole's turning the ball over. The defense is pretty much non-existent. They're the next worst defensive team after the Pacers, and they're not getting any rebounds. And if Gafford is not out there, they're really not going to get any rebounds. Joel Embiid versus who I'm looking at on the other side here, Philly should smoke them. I think if you like Philly in this game, you should probably just go early because at the end you might have the bench players in, and you can get that backdoor cover. But Philly first quarter, first half, I think they can definitely take advantage of this Washington team. And Embiid props, I'm not mad at anybody who wants to play that. Casey says, so even less defense. Yeah, even less defense. There's going to be no paint protection for Washington. And I think Philly's going to be fine just running up and down the floor here and scoring every single time down. So I would lean a little bit towards the over. It's very hard for me to get towards the under with the Wizards game. So do lean towards that. Net is feeling a little bit different here. He's liking the Wizards plus 12. Maybe he's thinking that they backdoor it. Um, And Ray, to answer your question here, it is extremely annoying. I can't wait till it's over. I don't know what's up with it, but I just want it to be over. JB Brown, he's agreeing. He likes the Sixers first half. We haven't got to the make Lakers game yet, but we'll get there when we talk about it. I don't want to jump all around in the middle of the games. What's going on, Itachi? Appreciate you tapping in. Always bringing those good trends. JB Brown says big game for Maxi, and that I would agree with. I mean, who's guarding him? Where's the perimeter defense for this Wizards team? And Maxi's been, I mean, going back to last year when since Harden was off the court and continuing into this season, he's just been pouring it on. So Maxi points, I can definitely look towards. Chris says Philly 8-2 to the under in games before playing the Celtics the last two seasons. So look ahead. That's another reason why you might not want to take Philly on the full game here. So I appreciate that shout out. What up, Munoz? What's going on, Chris? Appreciate both y'all tapping in. Let's see. Chris says too many comments. It is. Maybe we will have a producer on one day on this show. So let's keep it going here. Um, Ron Parsons says Philly has Boston on deck. Stay away. I will stay away. I won't be involved in this game. Couple more comments. Munaf says, my guy said F the spaces, and Casey says, I'm with it. Spaces for the birds. We did get some complaints just about, hard to hear or whatever the case may be. So I do like to talk to everybody, but we'll see how we can work it out going forward. Next game up, we will go in rotation order. We have 533, 534. The Warriors heading into Detroit to take on the Pistons. Open Golden State -6. They are a 7-point favorite now. Total open 227.5. And it's dropped as much as 4 points. Seeing 223.5 on the board right now. Injury report. Hit the refresh. Draymond Green is game time decision here for the Pistons. Jaden Ivey, game time. Burks, unlikely to play. They'll be without Bogdanovich, Joe Harris, Isaiah Livers, and Monte Morris. Um, This game was a little bit tricky just because both of these teams are on a back to back. It makes it tough for me to want to get involved here. But Duran, I think that's been one consistent thing, one thing that I would trust here. It is a back to back. He did get thrown out in that last game, right? But he still played a little bit over 30 minutes. He played one back to back so far this season. And the first of the back to back, he had 17 rebounds. He played over 30 minutes. The next game, he had 15 rebounds, played over 30 minutes. So I don't know how much we have to worry here in this one, and I think it's a good matchup for him to grab some. So lean towards Jalen Duran over. I think it's 10.5 rebounds. Last that I checked. If I had to play the game other than that, when I see teams on back to back like this, I like to think that they're not really going to care on about playing defense. So I lean towards that way. You have two teams here who are top 10 3-point percentage on the season, and Pistons are bottom 10 defending the three. So lean over and liking Duran rebounds more than anything in this one. Alejandro says Duran double double -113. Net says he's leaning towards the Pistons in this game. Gavin likes Thompson over points. Asar going back that route. Not mad at it. Let's see a couple more. JT, he likes the first quarter under 56. So thinking a little bit of a slow start after last night. Um, Interesting. Ultimately, I don't think it's a game I'm going to get there with, but I'm just trying to get some kind of nuggets or something. If I had to, it is Duran though. Casey says it was just like the Warriors ain't play yesterday. Thompson and Duran rebounds and Steph points over. A couple different ways to look from her. And there's the parlay JB Brown gave us. UCapper says Warriors managed minutes well yesterday. No one played more than 31 minutes. Pistons did not. 38 from Thompson and Cunningham. So maybe feel like the Pistons might want to pump the brakes. That's what UCapper is saying here. Appreciate you sharing that. And we have greetings from Lithuania. I really do not want to destroy your name. Um, I try to say Imantis, but if that is not it, appreciate you tuning in, EG, and hopefully we can make you some money here on the show. Let's. I think I see Itachi coming in really quick with a trend before we move on. I don't see the trend yet, but he did put a record, so I know it's coming. So I'll just hold off for 1 second. Dia likes the team total over 115.5 for the Dubs, and I guess we'll come right back. He'll put it in there. Oh, there we go. Here we go. There we go. So for Itachi, and he's been cashing these and he's been sharing. So much appreciated, brother. Since 2016, two teams playing second leg of a back to back with a total higher than the previous two. This is similar to my other system, just opposite. It's a little different, but 43, 15, and 4 to the over. Geez, 74.1%. I was already leaning towards the over in this game. I was nervous because I thought they would run out of energy, but Casey is saying Warriors managed their minutes well yesterday. Or at least UCapper said that. And he said the Pistons did not. But I do think this is a game where no defense is played. And again, here's that trend by Itachi. So let's take a look here. The best number, and I don't even have this written on my short list for the day, but I'm talking it out. I like it. That's why we do these shows. So it's dropped all the way to 223.5. A lot of people in the chat liking Warriors team total. You guys don't think the Pistons can contribute? Has the Warriors defense been that great? You think they're going to on a back to back lock down tonight? Why just the Warriors? I get that we trust them to score, but do we not trust the Pistons here? Is that what we're saying? I'm just checking one more thing here. Um, I think the over on the full game. I get what you guys are saying. I trust the Warriors, but I think we can get there with both. Uh, last comments on this game. Itachi's agreeing with you, Capper. Likes the team total over trifecta. Casey says, I guess losing bench scoring. So I'm gonna write this on my short list. I'll either go with. I'm pretty sure I'll get involved in this game. Golden State, Detroit over, and the number I see right now, best I see is 223.5, or Warriors team total. So I gotta write that down. So I don't forget. It's a lot going on today. I gotta make sure I remember these things. And UCapper says it's possible that they don't add to the total. And Itachi says another over spot for the Pacers game that we talked about earlier that I was also leaning towards over, but just skeptical. So appreciate you sharing. We'll keep it moving here for the show. Next game up, we will go 535, 536, Lakers and Heat. This game opened Heat -1.5, a 1 point favorite right now. Total open 224. It is down as low as 222.5. Injury report for Lakers, they will be without Rui, Jackson Hayes, Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, and Shafino. He hasn't played all year. But the other guys, it's like all the new additions for the Lakers damn near out. For Miami, Butler, game time but likely to play. Duncan Robinson, same. Jovic, just a true game time decision. Hampton, game time decision. And they will be without Caleb Martin. I was leaning towards the Lakers in this game. I'm not sure that I want to get to the window with them. You guys know I got to really be sure when it's a Laker game because I know y'all going to fire me up when I lose or if I lose. But the Lakers, I feel like even with the people missing, can still be the better offense in this game. They may not be the better defense, but they've been a better rebounding team thus far. I feel like those two things can continue. Better offensive team, better rebounding team. They can do that. I think they're live to win the game. I don't feel extremely, extremely confident. That's why it's not in my pocket just yet. But I would not be running to the window to back Miami. That's just how I feel about this one. Um, Lakers haven't been the best 3 point shooting team. Miami is a poor 3 point defense. Maybe they can take advantage of that in this game. But ultimately, this is just a lean. And the more I talk about it, probably not going to get there on this one. Let's see. And UCapper shouting out. Yeah, he and I will be on the Wager Talk NBA Tip Off show in about 2 hours. So you can catch us on there as well. And Net says under 223. I don't have a strong feeling on the total, but I'll leave that with you there. He's got takes, says he'll be all on the Lakers with the injury scare him. I agree. A lot of people missing. S. Warrior, to no surprise, he says the Heat smash. KC, still talking about the Warriors game. No surprise there either. Capper says he thinks under is the way to go. So we'll leave this game alone. I personally don't feel like it's too much money to be made here. We'll keep it moving. Let me just scroll back up and see. No, it's actually just. Oh, I think this is what it is here. This is the one. So I'll put it on the screen. And this is since 2018. You have less rest than your opponent. It is a non-conference game. I believe that's saying there. And your non-conference game. And the road dog is on a back-to-back game that went to overtime. So less rested than their opponent, non-conference game. Road dog has less rest than their opponent off of an overtime game. And the record attached for that was 14-4-1 to the over. And again, that's since 2018 for the Pacers and Spurs game. And I do lean with that. So appreciate you sharing. Arthur Me Jr., I appreciate the dono. Says a very good show with I think he meant very good handicapper. Much appreciated, bro. Appreciate the dono and appreciate you watching the show. Um, let's keep it going here. See if we can find some more money on the slate. Next one up, I will go 537, 538. And I said this would be a a short show, and it's turned into not short, but it's a lot of games, a lot of information. I did the work, right? Might as well share at least. See if we can talk some out and help you guys out, help myself out to talk it out with you guys. So this game will go Clippers and Knicks. It opened Clippers -2. We now see a flip of favorites. New York is a 1-point favorite, even 1.5 at bookmaker. Total open 226 and is down to 220, as low as 223. Injury report for the Knicks. Looks like RJ Barrett is game time decision here. For the Clippers, Terrence Mann is out. He didn't look too happy when James Harden walked in the locker room. He's out because he didn't want to be there or what? But no, he's out. And then Brandon Boston also out for this game. Let me take a look at my sheet here. And this was a game that I did like. It's the first game James Harden is going to play, right? Historically, whenever he goes to a new team, he just play good in that first game, gets all the stats, and then it slowly starts to break down as far as the team is concerned. But I'm just, I'm curious to see how this is going to work. Westbrook, a guy who needs the ball. Harden, a guy who needs the ball. We've already seen you can't take Westbrook and just go put him off ball or put him in a corner. He's not going to have that much success like that. And Harden, he doesn't want to move without the ball either. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work offensively. And when you just look at this, I mean, we get it. As far as the Clippers so far this season, they have been better offensively than the Knicks. I'll still give them that, even if we're unsure how the fit is going to work. But defense, that's definitely going to go to the Knicks. Knicks have been a better rebounding team. Now with these moves for the Clippers, there's been more cohesion on the roster for the Knicks. They're at the house. I didn't understand. I mean, when you look at that line, right? When you think about this Clippers team on paper, like everybody says, you would think they'd be more than that 2-point favorite that they listed them as. Clearly, they were short favorites for a reason, and now we've seen a flip of favorites. So I think the right side is New York. I think this is a game where you probably split up and go first half full game. I think they jump out on the Clippers, and take advantage of already knowing who their identity is, while the Clippers have to figure it out. But I do think they can still win the game. So I like the Knicks. I took them plus 1.5 on the game, and I took them first half plus a half. So I do like both of those. Let's see. Justin says long shows are the shit. Appreciate that. I listen to everything you guys say. I listen to what you guys say. You don't like, you do like. I want to make it a show everybody can enjoy. Saturated says Jimmy plays taking steals over 1.5. That is for the last game. S. Warrior says Clippers are going to implode. Andy says bunch of players with short temper. He thinks it's fouls. UCapper says Clippers defense takes a hit with Harden on the court, right? I would agree. So far, they've been a top 5 defensive rated team, but he's absolutely not a good defender. And that is another reason to like the Knicks. I mean, Brunson, I think he's going to do whatever he wants with, whatever one of those guards are guarding him. So I definitely agree with that. Itachi sharing a couple more trends. That's my apologies. I guess that should count as a mute, right? I don't even know what I did right there. I just like exited myself off my own show. But let me get back to what Itachi was saying here. Boom, boom, boom. So I did see the trend. Let me just see if there we go. Since 2021, the team has more than 2 days rest, and they're more rested than their opponent. It's a non-conference game. Simple. Non-conference game, 2+ days rest, more rest than their opponent. Past few years. Rest advantage, kind of how we've been saying for a while. 36-17-2 against the spread, also 36-19-0 to the over 65.5%. But we don't know how the Clippers will perform. That's what he says. I would agree with that. I think if we like the Knicks side, we like a little bit more of a slower game, a little bit more of a defensive game. But again, they could do some scoring because we think the Clippers defense takes a hit. So I would I like the Knicks. I don't know if I'll get there with that over that the trend supports, but I appreciate you sharing on that, Itachi. Look at a couple more comments before we keep going here. UCapper says I also think Harden will like the quicker pace with the Clippers. I think Harden likes to pound the ball, but we'll see. I'm probably you can label me a Harden hater at this point. I'm done with that guy. I'm through. And I used to love Harden. I used to go hard for Harden, but just can't do it anymore. Saturated says fade Randall points. Um, he hasn't been the best to start the year, but I don't really see a matchup that's stopping him tonight. So I would not fade his points. What's going on, Cap? Says I feel like we're getting a discount on Russ assist tonight. I mean, is it going to be a point of emphasis for Russ to be distributing the ball, or is it going to be on Harden to have a good game? Maybe that's why we get a discount. Look at a couple more. Chris Clark likes the first half over. You got for her. Bro, this guy. He said, "Nah, you need a producer for real." Yeah, I'm doing my best, man. My brain is, I don't know. I'm doing my best. It's my first day back. At least I'm here. Greg says, "Go feed the hamsters." Dexter, he said he just subscribed. I appreciate you, bro. Let me see. Not gonna get to all these comments, but let me scroll a little bit. Smooth D says, "Hit the like button if you do enjoy the show. If I'm helping you out, that helps me out, and it's much appreciated." Tyler, scroll back up for the Magic game, but I don't have a strong opinion on this prop. Sean likes Robinson boards tonight. I'm frustrated with that guy, but I don't think this is a matchup where it favors him crazily. That's what I'll say. So let's keep going down the slate. We did talk about this game quite a bit. I like the Knicks early and often in that one, personally. Next game up, get back to these banners. Next game up, we will go 539, 540. This is one I wanted to talk about because I want to get to the window here. We're looking at Milwaukee heading into Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Opened up Bucks -5. Still sitting around there. Some 5.5s out there. Total open 230.5. We're looking at 233.5. Even at 234 popped up right now. Or has popped up. Injury report, I will refresh, but for the Bucks, I don't see anybody on there. For the Nets, Lonnie Walker's game time decision. They will be without Claxton. They'll be without Cam Johnson. First thing that comes to mind, I mean, it's two things that come to mind here. Number one, not a whole lot of rim protection for this Nets team when I'm looking at the roster. These are two bottom 10 defensive rated teams so far to start the season. I have them listed as 24 and 25th. and we know Milwaukee wants to play up tempo. I think Brooklyn won't mind any pace. I think they can play either way. So I think this should be an up tempo game. Don't see a whole lot of defense being played. I think they can. The Bucks can score in the paint at will. And you look at the Bucks. We've known over the past few years they haven't had a good 3-point defense. Right now, bottom 10, the Nets are the third best 3-point shooting team. So I think both teams can trade baskets all night long. I think this is an over. I agree with the market on this one. Only way I would bet it. And as far as the side is concerned, I mean, I said it. If you've been watching me so far this year, even before the year started, I was not the biggest fan of what the Bucks are doing. I like the Celtics a lot more, and I said that it's going to take this Bucks team some time to get used to each other. I think that's what we're seeing to start the year. I don't want to be laying, especially um, on the road, just expecting to win by any kind of margin until I see them make that turn. So we haven't seen it just yet. Lillard, I'm gonna tell y'all this. He struggles when he's facing bigger guards. I'm not sure, if Ben Simmons is gonna guard him tonight or who's gonna guard him, but if Ben Simmons was on him, I wouldn't expect a whole lot of good things from Lillard. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm looking towards the Nets. So far on the season, they've been the better offensive rated team. They've been the better defensive rated team. They've been the better rebounding team. They're at home. They're getting points. They're a top 3-point shooting team going up against a poor 3-point defense. Why don't we grab the points with the Nets? That's how I feel. It's no reason, in my opinion, to take the Bucks. So I really want to get there with the over and the Nets. Probably more so the Nets, but I could very well get there with both. Let's see how you guys are feeling in the comments section. First thing that pops up to me, Bill McDonald says, "Who's guarding Giannis?" I mean, we've learned you can play team defense against Giannis. You can build that wall and force him, to distribute or get them charges. So you can play team defense. I don't think it's necessarily who's just guarding Giannis. That's my thought for that one. Let's look at a couple more. Um, we get to this game next, Avery. I'll talk about that one. Let's see. Let me see. Let me scroll. Chris Clark likes the first half over. He says he likes the Nets to run. Can't argue with that. I'm looking towards an over as well. Munaf says Giannis over 11 and a half rebounds. It is a good matchup for rebounds for this Bucks team. DJ coming back with Lopez rebounds. I can't argue either of you guys off of that. I would just challenge you guys to see, who has the best opportunity between either one of those guys. I think regardless what happens, Giannis gets the most minutes, so I want to lean towards him, but that's not a prop I'm on. But at the same time, can't talk you off. Same game parlay coming in. This is on the Laker game, so we'll leave that there. I'll try to come. Oh, we did have a Laker game. We talked about it, so I'll pop it on the screen, but I don't want to read it all just because we've already passed that game. Sean asking what I think about Giannis over his points. I think that I don't want to bet under points in this game because I'm not expecting a whole lot of defense to be played. That's how I feel about that. EG. Okay, I did it right. Glad to hear that, and I appreciate you, bro. Oh, here we go. This is why I like talking it out. Nets fifth game in 8 nights. Only reason that he stayed off. Now that I do not like. I absolutely do not like. Um, other than that, I love, love, love the Nets. So I appreciate you shouting that out. That's something I have to consider, and it makes me pump the brakes a little bit as far as running to the window. UCapper says Nets defense is potentially worse off than Bucks, especially without Claxton and Cam Johnson. Inside defense, terrible. Um, Perimeter defense for the Bucks, also terrible. So do we go over here? Chris, going back to this fifth game in 8 days, does this mean they don't care about defense tonight? I might translate it that way. Let's see a couple more. Chess says, what about a teaser? No teasers in basketball. Points are not worth as much. It's not like football. No teasers in basketball. Not the best way to go. Just personal opinion, just trying to help, bro. You can do what you like with your money. But that's how I feel. Says 5 games started against the Nets and he had at least 13 boards. He's talking about Giannis there, so making his case for Giannis over Lopez on the boards. UCapper says Nets lacking depth, and the Bucks get to the line more than any other team. If the Nets get in foul trouble, the Bucks could blow this game up. Sounds like points, points, points. And Saturator just giving a heads up. They've been pulling Giannis when there's a blowout. Got to be careful with his props. Here's one we haven't heard yet. Simmons over his rebounds. We were riding his rebounds plus assists, but the numbers started getting up there. But he stopped Geo Engineering, still likes it. JB Brown comes in with the Bucks -5. Markel likes the Bucks first half. Says see you at the window. Says Nets aren't getting blown out this season. They're undefeated ATS. Only thing we don't like, is fifth game in 8 nights. 21-12. He's asking what's my best bet. Best bet for the show comes at the end of the show. You ever said they're going 82-0 ATS. I love the chat, man. I love the chat. I love the chat. We have a good time over here, as well as making some money. We talked about Halliburton to answer that question in the chat. Casey says Cam Thomas might do something generational against his Bucks defense. Good point. I mean, he's already been cooking. What's to stop him from getting 30 tonight? I could definitely be talking to his points prop over with this matchup. So maybe Giannis boards on Bucks side, Cam Thomas points on the other side. And Chris Lynn says Cam Thomas out. I didn't see that. Cam Thomas is not listed out for me right now. That's Cam Johnson listed out. And Chris is agreeing. We definitely go with the over. Sean, I'll give you this since you're asking. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I'm a little, I tiptoe into the NCAA season, but I will be on first half, baby. First half. We rocking with the boys. All right, so I think that might be enough on this game. Chris says Celtics Nets was so fast paced, looked like a YMCA game, no rim protection. So over. We're liking over a little bit more than the Nets just because I'm gonna just put a little mark next to that just so I remember because of the fifth game in 8 nights. Other than that, only way to look would be the Nets. So we did a pretty good job on that game. If I'm playing something there, it would be the over, and I might still get there at the end of the show. Just don't want to hold up the show. We've already been on for 37 minutes, and we have a few more, 5 more games left. So I'll try to rapidly go through these last 5 games. Next game up, 541, 542. Sacramento heading into Houston. Game open Rockets -2. Flip of favorites. We see the Kings -2. And I'm surprised the Rockets even open as a favorite. Total open 218.5. We're looking at a consensus of 218. Injury report: Fox out, Lyles out for Sacramento, Eason, Oladipo, and Thompson out for the Rockets. So how I was feeling about this game, I think I have to start with, you guys know. I'll leave that to the end though, but I'll start with this. They played 2 games, right, since Fox has been hurt. And I feel like, what are they averaging? In those 2 games, I think they're averaging 95 points per game. You look at going back to last year, the under is 9-2 when Fox is not out there. The pace is killed without Fox. We know Mitchell's a much better defender than he is scorer. And for how long has Mike Brown been preaching defense? I mean, it started even before the season. And without their star player, and losing how they lost the last one, I think that they're going to step it up on the defensive end even more. And looking at these numbers, my bad, you guys, a lot going on here for me. The last 2 games, they've been a top 10 defensive rated team without Fox. So for the Rockets, in my opinion, they're coming off their best defensive performance. And I'm expecting, Ime is a defensive coach. I'm expecting him and the Rockets to kind of build on that. And you also have the Rockets playing at the 3rd slowest pace so far this season, while also being, I think, is a bottom 10 offensive rated team. They're 22nd offensive rated team so far this season. So not liking the offense there. I think both offenses really struggle. And if you know, you know. These teams just played the other day. Within a week, the bookmakers adjusted the total down. We going back to the under. I'm not going to read out the numbers and trends every single time, but I put the system on the screen a few shows ago. If you watch every day, it's a benefit to you, right? You already know the system. If you know, you know. We go into the under in this game. My bad for having that comment on the screen the entire time. But so I like the under. I'll leave the side alone. If I'm looking at props, I won't look at props. I'll just bet what I really like. You Capper says, "Damn, Ski, you really need some water after that." Hey, I was having a good time this weekend. I need as much water as I can get to get back. So a couple comments. Let me scroll. A lot of comments coming in. I appreciate you guys in the show. Some of them are still talking about last game though. So boom, boom, boom. Saturated like Sengun. Points, rebounds, assists. Says Sengun for president. Itachi. Yeah, if you know, you know. Two teams playing for a second time in 1 week with a total lower than the first. What up, Dream? Appreciate you tapping in. Um, see a couple more comments. Sean likes Hunter under threes at 1.5 plus 125. Avery went under on this game. Saturated says the Memphis game last night was another one. I don't think it met the criteria. It didn't pop up for me. But I would have to go back and look. I wasn't too locked in over the weekend as far as sports are concerned. So under for me on this game, and we'll keep it rolling. Next game up, we've been on for what 41 minutes. We have four more games, so let's try to get them done before we hit the hour mark at least. Atlanta, OKC, and this one will be easy because I don't feel very strong. It opened Atlanta minus 3.5. It's now a pick 'em. Total open 236.5, and it's at 241. Injury report: Gildress Alexander was on there. We weren't thinking he was going to play, but he was present at shoot around, and he's still listed as a game time decision. But that trends towards him playing. Matthews, Buffkin for Atlanta, both still out, and also Kenrick Williams out for OKC. When I think about both of these teams, when I look at both of them, there's two teams who want to play up tempo. They're top five in pace so far this season, and not playing a whole lot of defense. So if you're giving me that, and you're telling me that SGA is going to be in there, I could only look towards the over. Like I said, I don't feel extremely strong about it. Two top 10 offensive rated teams to start the year. It's just this game, how I view these teams with who's available, I could only look one way, and that's the over. I'll look at some quick comments. I don't want to spend too much time on this game because I don't think there's a whole lot of money to be made. UCapper says SGA moved to questionable, move the line 2.5 points. And Saturated says if SGA sits or not, Chet points, and Net likes over on the points as well. So we'll throw this game out. That's how I feel. Next game, I do like a lot more. I already played it. I have a feeling lines have moved, and let's get to it and see if there's still some money to be made. 545, 546, Boston and Minnesota. And I got to get the comment off of here. Boston and Minnesota. So this one open minus 4.5 for the Celtics. Now 2.5 point favorite. Three at bookmaker. Total open 228, and it's as low as 221.5. Injury report. We do have Derek White listed as out. Brissett game time decision. Porzingis downgraded to questionable for this game. Not a good sign for his availability for tonight. And then on the flip side for Minnesota, we have looks like everybody except for Jalen Clark available. So how I was feeling about this game? I mean, I bet Wolves +4, and I also bet the team total under for the Celtics at 113, and the team total is at 112 right now. I would still take that. I think the Wolves can win this game outright too. Like I was thinking about it when this team was healthy. If the Celtics had everybody out there tonight, I just didn't think it was a great matchup. Like, well, in my mind, when I think about these two teams playing, I view Cat guard and Porzingis. McDaniels, he has enough size to maybe, do something with Tatum, not necessarily stop him or anything. I like Edwards on Jalen Brown. Like Conley could have been on Derek White or whatever the case is, Derek White. But now, Gobert probably can stay off of whoever Derek White's replacement is or he can guard Drew Holiday and kind of hang back a little bit and just stay off of whoever their worst shooter is out of the group. That's how I view it. And if they do that, I think Minnesota has a chance. This Minnesota team is the number one defensive rated team to start the season, and Boston is number one on the boards. But I think in a game like this, Minnesota can definitely compete. Now you're telling me Porzingis might not be out there. You're telling me Derek White is definitely out. If Porzingis is out, I think it's a big advantage for Minnesota here. Um, and I just frankly think they care more about this game. I like them at the house. I think they can win outright, and the matchup is favorable. The better defense, I'll take them. So I took them +4. I still think they can win right now at the +2.5, and I would still take the Celtics team total under 112. Um, Although I got the 113. Like I said, if the Wolves are going to win this game, it's going to be with their defense. Couple comments. UCapper says Derek Whiteout moved a point. I think Porzingis too. News of Porzingis. DJ, he likes over 221.5. He also likes Jaylen Brown over 22 points. Um, this game, another prop. THT over 13.5. Says his homecoming. Matt says T Wolves giving the Celtics their first L tonight. I agree. Munaf liking Cat or Gobert rebounds. Itachi sharing another trend here. Since 2007, road faves against non-conference. Both teams rested an opponent coming off a 20-plus point win. 35, 18, and 3 ATS. Not a play, just a trend. And the play says to back the Celtics. Um, I understand and I get it, but I just disagree as far as what I think the outcome will be for tonight. So no props for me. I think you have a good one there with the rebounds prop, whichever one you go with. Probably be a good idea. And Minnesota gets the win. Celtics struggle to score in this game. Next one up, we'll go. We only have 2 games left here. 547, 548. Utah versus Chicago opened up Chicago -4. They're still a 4.5 or 4 point favorite. Total open 223, down as low as 222. Injury report, nobody on there for Utah. For Chicago, Caruso and Williams. Also, Desumo, game time decision. All 3 of them. Honestly, this Bulls team is just a team I don't want to trust. In my mind, I'm calling them until they fix whatever problems they had. Players only. Like I don't want players only -4.5. Players only meeting is what I'm referring to. I don't think Zach LaVine wants to be over there. I think they should deal him. I don't feel like there's a whole lot to like from the Chicago team. On the flip side, I always say this Utah team has a lot of guys who have things to play for, guys who've been kind of given up on. Jay Lamar says, and THT is kind of one of them. His points over says it says homecoming. I think Utah comes to play in this game, and I think they can win outright. Um, but if not, definitely keep it respectable. They've been the better offensive rated team so far this year. They're a top 5 rebounding team going up against a bottom 5 rebounding team. I think Utah can win this game outright. Honestly, I haven't bet it yet, but the more I think about it, I think they're the team I trust more. And only thing is if they could play some defense. Oh, another one here kind of slipped my mind, but we have THT going back against where he's from, his hometown. We have revenge for Markkinen versus his old team. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time he was playing the Bulls, he was lighting them up. So I'm starting to like the Jazz quite a bit. Arthur Meade Jr., Jazz +4.5. Saturated says this team has been broken since the season started. He's talking about the Bulls. Here comes Itachi with a trend. Let's see if what he can say can pull us to the other side here. Or says since 2005, home favorites not in conference that won their last game by 20 plus, and their opponent also won their last game by 20 plus. 16-6 ATS, 72.7%. And that says to take the home favorite here, which would be the Bulls. But can't do it. Makes me think about that. Some people might be too young, but it makes me think about that old commercial, that survival commercial. Like, I can't take that ride. I can't do it, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I can't. It's Jazz. Oh, both lost by 20 plus. My bad. They didn't win by 20 plus. They both lost by 20 plus. Thanks for correcting me. Um, I could only look towards the Jazz, man. I'm not betting the Bulls. It's not even an option for me. Dr. Shilly, I've seen enough from the Bulls after they blew that in-season tourney game. They had to lead the whole game almost and threw it in the fourth. There are no dogs on the Bulls. I don't want them either. And Munaf says last two games versus Bulls, a player for Jazz has scored 28 and 32. Wu Riza likes marking and laddered up to 30 plus. And net, he's against us. He's liking Chicago money line in this one. And says two career games in Chicago. He had 28 points in each. He's talking about marketing. Chris says Jazz off two straight losses too. Got to be Jazz plus 4-0. He's right there with me. And this one wasn't on my short list, but just like seeing it right here and talking it out, I'm adding it. I like it. I'm pretty sure I should get there with the Jazz today. I think they can win this game outright. See a couple more comments. Uh, Dexter says parlay Utah and Minnesota for half a unit. And looks like that is it there. So Jazz, for the most part, everybody except for Net agreeing here. And I'm extremely likely to get that one in as a play, at least for a unit. So let's keep going down the slate. We have one more game in the association. Finally made it to the last game in the NBA. 549, 550, New Orleans and Denver. Game opened up Denver minus 6.5. Still see 6.5s out there. Total open 223.5, down as low as 221. And for my injury report, Jamal Murray out for the Nuggets. Ken Carr out for the Nuggets. For Pelicans, Alvarado, Najee Marshall, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, all out. I was thinking about Pelicans team total under, but why not just under for the full game here for both teams? I mean, you're missing a point guard, all-star level player in Jamal Murray. That should, hinder the offense a little bit, even though they can still run the show. But it's still going to hurt the offense. I'm not going to say it's not. Pelicans side, I mean, you're already missing Murphy, who spaces the floor for them, struggling to space it. Now you're losing McCollum too. Like, you don't have your starting point guard. You don't even have backup point guard. You're missing spacing. How are the Pelicans going to really score here? I think the Nuggets can win this game just by playing defense. Honestly, Aaron Gordon, like they got the size for Valley and Zion. How do the Pelicans score? Oh, look, just so I know their team total. Um, Team total for the Pelicans is 107.5. I don't think they touch 100, really, honestly. But Pelicans, something they do have going for them. Uh, well, I guess I'm mistaken there. I spoke a little bit too soon. They're 13 defensive rated teams so far this season, but they're number one defending the three. So if they can continue to do that, maybe they hold down Denver enough to contribute to the full game under. But Denver, they're playing at a bottom five pace. We know how efficient they are, but they're also a top 10 defensive rated team. I think I would just trust Denver win with their defense in this game. Whether I go full game under, Pelicans team total under, I think both of them are winners at the end of the day. Let's see if the chat can help me decide, or let's see what you guys are thinking. First comment I see: Pelicans are trash. I agree. It might be time to blow that thing up or something over there, especially with the news we got about CJ. That sucks quite a bit for them. Markel likes Joker, points, rebounds, and assists. I know Murray probably run a little bit more through Joker here tonight. I'm not mad at that. Sean Evans likes Joker over 1.5 threes. I can see that too. I can see a scenario where Valanciunas doesn't really want to come out to the perimeter and guard him, and he's not out there fast enough, and Jokic just splashing on him. I could definitely see that prop. Net likes the Pelicans +6. Atachi coming in with another trend. He says, since last season, home favorites in conference, Nuggets as a home favorite in conference, 22, 11, and 1 ATS. So a team trend, but also 21-13 to the under, 61.8%. Appreciate you sharing that. And Minoff says Joker rebounds plus assists. Says Joker has torch Valanciunas. Yeah, Valanciunas can't do nothing with Joker. He has nothing for him. Absolutely zero. And Itachi says best team ATS against the conference. Appreciate you sharing that. A lot of people liking Joker. Chris likes his PRA over 50 and a half. Casey says Fat Boy can't run with Jokic. I've been talking about Valanciunas. U Capper, Pelicans plus 6.5 is what he's looking at. He says Murray out is way more important than CJ out for Pelicans. I mean, is it more important than CJ out and Trey Murphy no spacing and the backup point guard out? Is it more important than all of that? Is there anything else we like about the Pelicans? I gotta challenge you on that one, RC. Chris says Denver has a 99 defensive rating with Murray off the floor. Damn, this game, let me go ahead and mark it down before I forget, man. Denver, NOP, either under 221.5 is the best number I can get, or Pels, team total under 107.5. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's going one of those ways. And Casey says they get to play their more defensive minded guards when he's out. Makes sense. Let's see. Sion says Gordon points, rebounds, assists without Murray. You know, if I can BI assist, I could probably understand that. No CJ. Like for a while without CJ last year, it was BI assist, but those games also didn't have Zion. So I understand, but I don't think that I can get there just because I feel a little bit uncertain. Real DJ says Michael Porter Jr. will step out with Murray out. And those stats that Chris shared says was in 216 minutes this season. Appreciate that. So let me ask you in closing, I want to ask you, Chris, and the chat as well, everybody there, would you prefer under 221.5? Can the Pelicans play any kind of defense here? Or do we just fade the hell out the Pelicans? I think we fade the Pelicans. We're really banking on that Denver defense more than anything, right? So Pels team total under, I think. And that's why I like talking it out. Sometimes even if I'm just talking to myself on here. I know y'all listening, but I think Pels team total 107.5 under is better than the full game over. Because I do think the Nuggets can still score. Here's the opinions. You Capper likes the under. Likes the full game under. Casey likes the Pelicans team total under. Maybe I get there with both at the end of the day. And Ronell, under. We know you like the under. Good to see you in the chat. YBB coming in with the under as well. I'm gonna have to play this. I'm gonna have to play it. Booper says 5 more likes for the over though. Appreciate that. Yes, if you guys are liking the show, if I'm helping you out, please hit the like button, as that does help me out quite a bit. UCapper says Nuggets won't be able to score. The offense will struggle. So we like both. Munoz says 2 more likes for the hundo. Much appreciated, guys. Uno mas. Chris says Denver 5-2 to under the season. Only went over versus Bulls because Bulls couldn't get a stop. All right. I might have to double up there. On Denver and Pels under 221.5. Pels team total under. So I'm gonna double back in the best section and see which one we use out of all these we have here. I'm obviously gonna make some additions after the show, and I think we had a pretty successful, pretty insightful show. So I like it. And UCapper, one more thing, he says Warriors on deck. They'll manage Jokic's minutes. Offense will struggle with Jokic on the bench. No Jokic, no Murray. They struggle a little bit. And that makes sense to me. That absolutely makes sense to me. So good stuff. I do want to mention, just because it is supposed to be, breaking down the Monday card. I'm not talking very long at all. I'm just gonna say, you guys know I'm a Charger fan. All I ever tell you guys about the Chargers is when you see them as a favorite of 3 or more, we do not bet them, especially if it's more than 3. I saw 3.5 earlier. I think it's back down to 3 now, but you're pushing it. This is not a team you expect to win by any kind of a margin. And I wish they were. I really do. As a fan, I really wish they were, but you just cannot trust them. Whether it's going to be Herbert making poor decisions at the end of the game, whether it's going to be the coach making idiotic decisions, or the defense just giving it up. You can't trust them. So I would only fade the Chargers in this spot. And last but not least, I didn't really not going too deep into college basketball, but I mentioned it during the middle of the show and say it again. We continue in the ride with the guys in the first half for college basketball. So that is the show. It is about time for best bets. And just bear with me for 1 second because I have made some wagers. There are more wagers that I want to make. And the best bet that I give, I want to make sure it's a number we all can still get here. So what I'll do, let me open up my book because the best bet I'm going to give, a lot of these lines that I've taken have already moved. I'm not going to give you a line that already moved. I don't believe in doing that. So I really like the last couple games that we talked about. I'm going to try to log in and see if I can get this Pelicans game. What's the best number that I can get? It should be 221.5. And again, I hate holding up the show like this, but the one good thing you guys know is you're talking to somebody that actually places wagers. I'm not on here just talking about these games and not putting my own money on it myself. Like I'm betting this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, pulling it up here. NBA, boom, boom, boom. Last game on the slate, 221.5. And I think we double up here. 227.5. And let's see the best number I can get for the team total. Do I need to log in somewhere else? Looks like 107.5 is the best everywhere. So we got that. We got that. 221.5 and 107.5. Boom, locked in. So best bet for the show. New Orleans Pelicans, Denver Nuggets under 221.5. We're gonna double up this time. We'll go Pelicans team total under 107.5. And like I always say, this show is nothing without you guys in the chat. You guys are absolutely appreciated. A lot of great insight. You guys are helping me cap the games and entertaining as well. So much love to you guys. Couldn't do it without you. Best of luck, you guys. If best of luck on all your action. Good luck if you tell. I will not be here tomorrow just because there's no NBA, but I'll be back on Wednesday. And let me know in the comment section if you guys like the show like this, if you think we should go back to spaces, or if I should just get other people to come on and talk with me maybe Monday through Wednesday. But like I said, best of luck on all your action. I'll catch you guys again on Wednesday.